What's goody, Shellitronnn here. You can call me Shells, and I'm back again with a brand new video. And I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry biscuit. There might be some semblance of hope on the horizon for the Carolina Panthers. Throw up the tweet right here from Myles Simmons saying, Rule says running back Christian McCaffrey is undergoing a series of tests this week, perhaps as soon as today, to determine his status. He doesn't have to come off of IR this week. We'll probably have a better idea on Wednesday, #Panthers. This tweet was sent out on Tuesday. Today, when this video comes out, is Wednesday. But this does show that at the very least, C-Mac is progressing pretty positively in his rehab from, as we know, week 2 against the Bucks. He had that high ankle sprain, and the usual recovery time for that, the usual rehab time for that is 4 to 6 weeks. I think when he got hurt, they said it was 3 to 6 weeks, but when Richie Boniface got hurt, they said 4 to 6 weeks. It could be either one of those, and it has been 3 weeks so far. But keep in mind, C-Mac has been on IR the whole time, so he has not been practicing. So any timeline of him actually coming back for a game situation would not be this week against the Bears, and that's just fine because the Bears are actually like dead in the middle in run defense per yardage in this season. So we're not really worried too much about what the Bears are going to do in the run game because we have Mike Davis. I think it's pretty fair to say that even the low expectations that most Panthers fans had for Teddy Bridgewater could not compare to the low expectations that most fans had for this man, Mike Davis. He has blown all of our thoughts, worries, and expectations out of the water. 46 rush attempts for 220 yards and a touchdown, averaging 4.8 yards per carry, having only started in 3 games. Not to mention what he does in the receiving game. He has 30 receptions for another 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. This dude has been, I don't want to say the words, but he's kind of been a little bit C-Mac-esque in the way we use him in the game. The scheme has not changed. We're not putting on any training wheels for Mike Davis. You don't put training wheels on a train. And that's exactly what Mike Davis is. That's what he has been for this team. He has been a very dependable member of this very explosive offense. But the fact still is, I think every Panthers fan wants to see C-Mac. They want to know how good he's doing. They want to know what the timeline is for him. And they want to know when they are going to see 22 back in a black and blue jersey on the field. And I think with these tests coming up right here, it's possible. It's possible that it's not going to be this week versus the Bears, but it could be next week versus the Saints. The Saints who do look pretty damn vulnerable. If you watched that game last night between the Saints and the Chargers took the Saints to OT, and the Chargers only lost that game because of a doinked field goal from 50 yards out and just being a half yard short on a slant from my man Justin Herbert. So we understand this Saints team might not be all that it's cracked up to be. This team right here is looking like we're going to be in prime position to be very competitive and possibly win that game in 2 weeks. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still got to handle these Bears if we're going to go 14-2. And you already know we're going 14-2. But the point is, we'll probably see Christian McCaffrey after 5 weeks. Meaning week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6 versus the Bears. Week 7 will be 5 weeks, and that's going to be the Saints. You give them a few days to actually practice. You give them a full, week of practice before you bring them in. And I think that's probably when we're going to see C-Mac coming back. And that 5-week timeline is just a little bit sooner than the maximum of what people say it takes to rehab from a high ankle sprain, which is 6 weeks. Now, if it's me and I see Mike Davis playing real good, you might consider, letting them rest 1 extra week and say, look, we know you're good now, but let's just make sure you're good long term. We saw what just happened to Dak. Any given moment, things can happen. And Dak was 100% healthy and his ankle snapped in half, man. Principle to that, man. He got done dirty. I'm glad that C-Mac got his money and his long-term security with his team. That's why contracts in the NFL are so important. But getting back on track here, that was not the only thing that Myles Simmons tweeted yesterday. He had another tweet. Put it up right here. He says, #Panthers have officially added running back Rodney Smith to their practice squad today after he cleared all COVID-19 protocols. Smith was with Carolina during training camp after signing with the club as an undrafted free agent out of Minnesota. This tweet right here is making me believe the team is leaning more toward the second option of just making 100% sure that C-Mac is healthy and not bringing him back just after 5 weeks. Because you probably don't need to sign Rodney Smith if C-Mac is coming back in 2 weeks. Look, we understand that we had Trenton Cannon in the game last week versus the Falcons. He had 2 rushes for a -1 yard gain. We understand how all that works. He had a 2-yard gain, then lost 3 on his second attempt. And I don't really want to judge him off of only 2 rush attempts, because any running back can lose 3 yards if the blocking breaks down or if they blitz, 7 or even 8 into the backfield. So I don't want to judge Trenton Cannon too heavily based off what he did there. Curtis Samuel did all right. He had 4 carries for 28 yards. That's pretty all right, okay? That's pretty all right. This was the first game where we actually saw Curtis Samuel in the run game look consistently positive for us. And then obviously you have Mike Davis, but he needs someone to back him up. I'm not sure Curtis Samuel is the best option there, but I'm also not sure that Trenton Cannon was 100% horrible or that Alex Arma can't carry the rock, 4 or 5 times in a game. So the fact that Trenton Cannon only got 2 attempts against the Falcons, and we're picking up Rodney Smith, who did visit and practice with the squad, I think it was Wednesday of last week, obviously didn't get signed until just now, makes me believe that the team is probably leaning more toward C-Mac getting more rest, making sure he is 100% before we bring him back. Not that 90% and play your way back into shape. They're saying, look, let's make sure you're actually 100% before we bring you back on the roster, before you take a single snap of a practice down, before you do another drill with the squad. We're going to keep you on IR and make sure you are 100% safe, because we're winning right now, okay? We're not in desperation mode. We don't 100% need him right now. The run game's doing good, and even the pass game out the backfield is looking real solid. So we can afford to have C-Mac sit 1 or 2 extra weeks before we bring him in, and I'm cool with that. But if I'm reading between the lines here, I'm going to go out on a limb and say C-Mac is closer to being 100% healthy than he is to being, closer to 60 or even 70%. He's probably almost there, and the team is exercising some great caution in bringing him back too early when there is no real need to. We are number 1, or we're tied for number 1 in the NFC South right now. It is okay to give him some rest. Mike Davis has been a beast for us. The pass game is working 100% fine. We still do not have any idea what a tight end is, but it's all good because the offense seems to be working without tight ends, without ever even looking at a tight end ever in our lives. So basically, to break it all down, C-Mac could be back as soon as week 7 against the Saints, but with us signing Rodney Smith to the practice squad, it makes me think that we might not see him until the game after that. That's all I got for you right now, man. Mike Davis doing pretty good. Rodney Smith has been signed, and the team is looking at testing Christian McCaffrey over the next couple days and seeing just how soon he can come back. Probably won't be against the Bears this week, but it could be against the Saints. Could be the game after that. That's all I got for you, though. What are your thoughts? Do you think Christian McCaffrey comes back this week, next week, after that? Do you think that Rodney Smith will have a better impact than Trenton Cannon did? What are your thoughts on Mike Davis? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. And you already know what to do with that like button.
Cheers to you, appreciate the chance. Been told y'all I been the man. Been told y'all I had the gift. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Real ones gonna recommend. Count this as another win.